All right, guys, welcome to Silva Linings Playbook. My name is Scott Silva. You're watching the sports podcast nobody asked for, and even less people are watching. We're talking NFL football. Let's talk about it. The big trade earlier this week, Myles Garrett to the Rams. If the Rams stay healthy, on paper, they look like the favorite coming out of the NFC, but their schedule is super tough if you look at it. The first few games, they might lose half of them. The first 6 games, they might lose half of them, just the matchups that they have. It's a tough matchup for them. Myles Garrett's definitely going to alter the Rams' defense and bring something that they haven't had. Losing Jared Verse was tough. He's younger than Myles Garrett, but a completely different player than Myles Garrett, and why not get a Myles Garrett if he's available? He's probably the best defensive player of his generation and maybe one of the top defensive players of all time when he's all said and done. If he stays healthy, the Rams defense is going to be terrifying. A.J. Brown to the Patriots. We talked about that last time. Excited to see in his press conferences that he grew up a fan of the Patriots. I didn't know that. Did see that he had like a Patriots rug in his house the past few years while he was an Eagle. I don't know how, if I was an Eagle teammate, how I would feel about my Eagles teammate displaying Patriots logos and rugs in their house. Maybe that's some of the tension that he had with his teammates, that they didn't feel he was all into the team, but that's all over now. He's a Patriot. He seems to be happy. I hope he brings that happiness and joy to the field and gives Drake May that true alpha number 1 target that he's been looking for in his short career. The Patriots offense, you're going to have to step up and be better than last year. Didn't have enough to win the Super Bowl. Struggled throughout the playoffs on offense. Hopefully A.J. Brown will help fix that. We shall see. Training camps are opening soon. The OTAs are going. One of the things I'm thinking about in the NFL, there's all these quarterbacks coming off of injuries. Patrick Mahomes being the one I'm thinking about right now. What is they're saying he may be ready for the start of the season. Why rush is my question. Why are the Chiefs rushing to get him on the field week 1? I'm pretty sure you don't win the Super Bowl in week 1. I'm pretty sure you don't clinch your division or a playoff spot in week 1 or week 2. Yes, you don't want him to miss half the season. I don't think that's going to be the case. He seems to be doing well enough and moving around. But why rush? You went out and got Justin Fields, which I think was a great move for Justin Fields, especially because he's going to get to learn from Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Eric Bieniemy. He's going to get like a coaching staff who knows what they're doing for the first time and no real pressure because he knows Patrick Mahomes is the guy and he's not competing for that spot. But why not let Justin Fields start the first 2 or 3 weeks? Let Patrick Mahomes have a little bit more time. Even if they went 0-3, they're not out of the playoffs that early in the season, but they're not going to do that. So I just don't understand the big rush to get Patrick Mahomes back on the field. There's other quarterbacks like that too, like Michael Penix in Atlanta. He went out and got Tua Tagovailoa. So you have 2 lefty quarterbacks. Your offense is set. Even if you bring the backup in, you don't have to flip the offense. It's a great idea. If you're starting quarterback's a lefty, to have the backup be a lefty. Love the whole plan. I think Tua Tagovailoa would fit well in that offense and having those weapons and having the running game that Atlanta has. They just signed Drake London to an extension, so they've got a big wide receiver. They've got a big tight end in Kyle Pitts. You got Bijan Robinson. You got weapons all over the place. Let Tua start. Why rush Michael Penix back? Yes, you need to find out what you have in Michael Penix, but he's another one of these young quarterbacks who's thrown to the wolves too soon and given too much on his plate and didn't have the supporting cast around him. I don't understand why rush Michael Penix back if you've got Tua there. I mean, I understand from Michael Penix's perspective, he wants to get back because he sees the threat of Tua, who's an experienced quarterback, who's done it in the league. But, I get why you want to get back as a player, but in your long-term career outlook, why rush back from a ACL injury before the normal time that it takes? I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems like from a franchise perspective, it's dumb to rush a Patrick Mahomes back or a Michael Penix back or even Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. Why rush them back? The season is not won or lost in the first 2 or 3 weeks. Just take the first month to get better, and after 4 games in, then you come back. Like, there's just if you're healthy, if the doctor's clear. I just don't understand the rush. It's setting these guys up for failure. And if you bring somebody back too soon before they're ready, they get hurt and then they're out for the season, and then what? So I don't know. That's the logic to me of rushing these injured quarterbacks like Mahomes and Penix and Daniel Jones and rushing them back from major knee injuries. It just doesn't make sense to me, like, why you have to do that in the first few weeks of the season. Again, you don't win the Super Bowl in week 1. You don't win the Super Bowl in week 2. Just let these guys get healthy and be there for this long season that's ahead of you and your teams. That's my 2 cents. It drives me crazy. I'm not even a fan of these teams, but like, if I was, I'd be very worried that Patrick Mahomes is rushing back to be there for week 1. It's a year recovery on an injury like that. I mean, look at Micah Parsons in Green Bay. He's got similar injury. He just had a cleanup. He's now like 4 months, 6 months away. So he's not starting the season for Green Bay, which is a big loss for them and their defense, especially since they lost their coordinator to the Dolphins. But why rush a superstar player like that back when you really need them later in the season and for the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see how this works out, but that's my concern as a fan. I want to see the best players on the field, and I don't want to see these guys getting carted off every week. Knee injuries like these guys suffered takes time to heal. Let them heal, and you're not winning the Super Bowl week 1. Anyway, moving on from that, it's the summertime. Dallas Cowboys have to have drama with a contract. George Pickens signed the franchise tag and is going to be a Dallas Cowboy, but he's not in camp. He's not in OTAs. Yes, it's voluntary at this point, but we've seen this before every year. I mean, go way back to Emmitt Smith, Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb just went through it. Dak Prescott went through it. Micah Parsons, who we just talked about, he went through it. He got shipped off to Green Bay, and now here we come. If you thought it was going to be any different, you're a fool, because this is what Dallas does. They get these talented guys, they claim they want them, they sign them to their franchise tag, and then say, well, you're signed for the year, we don't have to negotiate with you this year, and make this player become disgruntled. Yes, he'll probably come in and play, and when the mandatory training camps come, he will be there, but will he suit up, or is he going to do a Micah Parsons and stand on the sideline and say, oh, my back is sore, I can't run around until you sign me to a long-term extension? It's the summer, it's Dallas, some superstar player is in a contract battle with Jerry Jones, and this year it just happens to be George Pickens. I don't care what you say, this is the same crap every year. We're going to see George Pickens get pissed off at some point. And yes, he may play this year, but he's going to be out of there. He's not going to re-sign with them. I don't know why Dallas does this. They're going to give in, but they're going to make the guy pissed off, and then he's not really going to want to be there. George Pickens did really well with the Dallas offense last year. A good combination with CeeDee Lamb. And when CeeDee Lamb went down with injury, George Pickens stepped up and was a number 1 receiver and looked like he was enjoying life as a Dallas Cowboy. Why play games with this contract? You know you're going to sign him. Just sign him. Cut the shenanigans. Cut the drama. It's so boring. I don't want to talk about this every summer. I'm trying not to talk about it anymore. Let's see what happens there when training camps start. If it'll be interesting to see if George Pickens shows up on day one and participates in drills. If that's the case, they're not going to sign him to any extension before the end of the season. Don't care. If he does, I'll be shocked. If Dallas signs George Pickens to an extension, it'll be as shocking as seeing Myles Garrett traded to the Rams. It'll be that, or Max Crosby being traded to the Ravens and then untraded to the Ravens. It'll be that kind of shocking level if the Dallas Cowboys signed a superstar player to an extension once they tagged him. So let's see how that goes. I don't know. I'm ranting. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about these thoughts in the comment below. Do you think they should rush players back from injuries? Do you think George Pickens is going to sign an extension with the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.